Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. This is actually a very special reading vlog because my husband and I are taking a trip. Bright and early Wednesday morning, we are heading down to the Florida Keys and we are going to be driving up along the Florida Keys. So we're flying into, I think, Fort Lauderdale, renting a car, going down to Key West, and then slowly making our way back up. So I am really excited because it's going to be like a fun traveling, like not so much a sit down on the beach, but we are going to try and explore the Keys and really get out and see what all is there. With that though, I am going to be reading as I always do, so I will be taking you all along so that you can see what I'm reading, how much I'm reading, and just along for the trip because I've never been to the Keys and maybe you all are going or want to see what it's like, so I think it'll be fun regardless. So let's talk about my TBR for this vlog. So first and foremost, a book that I started in my previous reading vlog but I didn't actually finish was Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. And I didn't really stop it because I wasn't enjoying it. I think I'm going to love this book. I was just trying to read two books at the same time, and that just didn't work out for me. So I'm really excited to get into this because it was actually my favorite, like, booktubers' favorite book of last year. So Katie is reading definitely inspired this one, so I can't wait to get into it. And I'm like only 20 pages in, so I will definitely describe the plot in a bit. Next, my audiobook came in for Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimino. So I cannot wait to get into this one. You all know that I've been on my cozy mystery kick, and when I posted my first review about a cozy mystery, which was Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jesse Q. Sutanto, everybody was like, you have to pick this one up. So I am really excited about this one. I've already listened to like a sample on Spotify, so I know that I like the narrator's voice and I'm really excited to see all of the good things that are going to come with this series. And those are the two main books for now. I'm not really sure what I want to do with my third book or if I'm even going to make it to a third book at this point, since we'll be doing other things. But I really wanted to get like a nice beach read because I know we'll probably have some downtime, but none of my romances are sounding good. And Funny Story comes out tomorrow by Emily Henry, so maybe I'll grab that when I am down in the Keys. But before we get to all of that, we have a lot of other things that need to get done. So let's go ahead and get started on those. Okay, so the first plan of action for the vlog is actually going to be going to return some of my library books because since we're leaving, I don't want them to like expire and incur any loans like charges, so we're gonna go do that first. So I'm dropping back off That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. Love this book last week. It was so much fun, so I really want to get it back early so somebody else can enjoy it. And then also First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Since it's a new release, it is due in like 3 weeks instead of 4. So I'm going to return this one because I think I'm going to listen to it as an audiobook anyway. I just played the sample for it and it sounds pretty good. So I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook for this one, and I have just been in a real thriller kick for audiobooks. It won't be in this vlog, but I don't want to hold it either. And I also have a loan that I think is going to be so much fun. I have a really high hopes for my May TBR, so I am really, really pumped about that. So we're going to go pick that up, drop these off, and then go get some food for book club. So let's do it. We are back home now, and I wanted to show you all what I got before book club starts. So I picked up Lore of the Wilds by Annalee Sabrana, I think, but this is a recent romantasy book that has come out, and it sounds kind of interesting. It sounds like there's like a forbidden library with a human girl who wants to go and try to obtain the knowledge to save her village, but she has to get through 2 Fae princes to get to it. So sounds like it'll be fun. I did look and it's about 330 pages and it says to be continued, so I'm assuming it's part of some type of series that's going to be happening, so that's interesting. But I am just so excited about this one. This one was a Fairy Loot Romantasy book blog picks, so I haven't seen really any reviews on it honestly, but it sounds interesting enough to me. Like I said, I wanted to be part of like a new release romantasy reading blog, so I think that this is going to be fun, so look forward to that later. And I thought while I was here I would just go ahead and share with you all the overview of Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. And like I said, I'm about 20 pages in, and so far what I've grasped from it is our main female character, her name is Dora, and when she was little, she ran into, I think, like an elf, and the elf had been promised by Dora's mother Dora's soul. And so when the elf tried to take Dora's soul, her cousin stopped him from doing it. And so Dora survived, but she only survived with half her soul. So she only feels things halfway. So it makes her a bit odd because she knows she should be feeling these things, but she doesn't necessarily feel them herself. So now fast forward, we are at a point where this is the Regency period. So they are going out for the season, like they are being introduced to all of their potential suitors. And her cousin is, I would say, more normal and more liked because of that. So, but her cousin is very dedicated to Dora and wants Dora to stay with her as she goes through this process. So it's very sweet because we get to see Dora kind of stand up for her cousin because her cousin is apparently attracting a lot of really just boring people. So Dora gets them out of those situations with her offhanded remarks, and it's just very funny to observe so far. So I'm really looking forward to this one, especially like Dora is just so funny. Like she's like, oh, that isn't what somebody who's scared would probably say. And I am just already going to love her character. So I'm really looking forward to that and the female friendship between her and her cousin. So that is all for right now. I'm gonna go finish making dinner for book club. We read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and I read that in my last week's reading vlog. It was so good. 5 stars. I can't wait to hear what they think about it. I'm going to be so sad if they did not like it. All right, so let's go do that. Happy Tuesday, everyone, but more importantly, happy release day to Emily Henry and Funny Story. I just showed you all how I went to Barnes to pick this up. I was debating whether I was going to go or not, but I was just like, literally, why wouldn't you? This is one of your most anticipated releases of the year, and I want to read it immediately, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I'm so excited for it. It's stunning. Oh, and the spine is gorgeous. So I am just really, really excited for this one, obviously. I think I'm going to take it with me on vacation because I have been wanting to read a romance but haven't really had any that have been calling out to me, so I'm really hoping that this is going to do it for me. And just while I was there, I was browsing around naturally as you do, and I picked up the new Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger because I've been in my thriller era and really enjoying those, and Olivia Reads Our Latte just finished this book and she loved it, and it seemed like there was a creepy kid, and oh man, Ashley Audrain does that in The Push, I believe. And so good. So I'm really excited for this one and to see what it's all about. And then lastly, for this little mini book haul, I picked up a library hold for That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. So there's that. It's the second book in the Mead Mishap series, and I just read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon last week and loved it. So I think that this one's going to be super fun as well, and I am just really, really enjoying these kind of like fluffy, spicy, but also a pretty good plot. So I am hoping that those themes carry through to this book as well. So those are the 3 books that I picked up this afternoon, and I'm officially on PTO, so it feels very, very good, but there are a lot of things to be done before vacation actually starts. So before I go jump into all of those tasks, let me tell you about Finlay Donovan. I think this morning I got a whopping 12 pages into the audiobook, and I already know that I'm going to love this. I think that the tone is very funny because we are focusing on this mom who is also a struggling author, and she recently got divorced from her husband because she found out he was sleeping with their realtor, and now he is kind of like, look, you need to keep up with the bills and everything because this writing gig isn't really going that well, and she kind of understands and like agrees, but is also very determined to not let him take custody of her kids. So she needs to come into some money fast. So I think we're about to see how it all kind of kicks off, but I am so over. I think it's only because I just read the cheating husband trope and I hate it. Like, I just cannot stand it. It just makes my it makes my skin crawl. It makes me so uncomfortable to see like a husband that has cheated and is then doing better, and then the woman he left behind is struggling. Like, it just makes me, it makes it so uncomfortable for me because I'm like, this is the worst. I wish you a very bad day, sir. But that's really all I'm into this now. I think I'm gonna have some good time to get into it more tomorrow, but we'll see. For now, I'm gonna pre-film a couple of TikToks so I can post those while I am gone. I'm gonna do a full body shower, and then I am going to repaint these crusty, dusty nails and do some grad school work, and then hopefully go to bed before midnight so that I can wake up at like 3:30 so we can get on our plane at 6. And that is the rundown. Bear with me. We are going to get through this evening and then get to the Keys tomorrow. So see you all soon, I'm sure. Hey there everyone, and good evening. It is almost 10 p.m. now, and if you recall from earlier in my clips, we started this day at 3 a.m. So I am absolutely gassed and so excited for bedtime. But we made the most of today. So we arrived in Fort Lauderdale at like 8:30 and then had brunch, and then we drove down all the way to Key West, which was like a 4.5 hour drive. So we got here and then we went and explored like Duval Street and all that is old historic downtown Key West. So we have had a very eventful day, but I wanted to fill you all in a bit on my reading that I got done this morning. So if you all happen to notice, I ended up picking up one of my advanced reader copies through NetGalley, and that was When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. And I picked this one up mainly because I like to read on my Kindle when I'm flying. I don't know why, but the less effort that I have to do to read the book, the easier it is for me to read. And I also typically get motion sick, so if I don't have to think about it too much, then it just makes it a better experience for me. So I chose to read this because I wanted to knock it out. In Knock It Out, I have, because I'm about 70% of the way through the book, given it's a very short book. I think it might be around the 200-page mark, but it is honestly so interesting. And I think if I tried to explain this, I think I would just mess it up so severely. So I'm just going to give you all the Goodreads summary. So the Goodreads summary says, step into a city where monsters feast on human emotions, knights split their souls to make their weapons, and witches always take more than they give. Pain is Demeter's calling. To slay the monsters he's been raised to kill, he had to split his soul in half to make a sword from his own spine. Every time he draws it, he gets blood on his hands. Pain is Allah's inheritance. When her mother died, a family curse to witness horrors committed by the Holy Order was passed on to her. The curse will claim her life as it did her mother's unless she can find a cure. One fateful night in Chicago, Demeter comes to Allah with a bargain. Her help in finding the legendary witch Baba Yaga in exchange for an enchanted flower that might just cure her. Desperate and unaware of what Demeter really is, Allah agrees, but they only have one day before the flower dies, and Allah's hopes of breaking the curse along with it. So honestly, it's a pretty decently built out world for only being around 200 pages, but I think it has been really fast paced. We have moved through quite a few different creatures within this world, and then also really set the stage for what's to come. And honestly, reading that Goodreads description, I even learned something about Demeter that I didn't know before and how that is about to impact him, because we are 70% through the story and that piece about his life hasn't come up, and it is quite significant. So I have about an hour left of this book, and I think it's a really good introduction into Veronica Roth's writing. So I think that I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very surprised by it because it's a fantasy book, but it's also set in Chicago. So I don't even know what to call this, like an urban fantasy maybe. Regardless, it's a pretty quick fantasy read, so if you need something just like very different from, I would say, the normal fantasy reads that everybody's recommending, this would be a super fun one. And that's really all the reading that I got done today, so I am probably about to get ready for bed and then hit the hay, and then hopefully tomorrow get a little bit more reading done as we are traveling to our next destination. So very much looking forward to it, and I will keep you all updated as we go. Good morning, everyone. It is officially Sunday now, and we have returned from our travels in time to get ready for the week. So I did not update you all as much as I would have liked to when we were traveling, but truthfully, I did not get that much reading done in between just because it wasn't like a sit down at the beach kind of vacation. We were all over the place, like bopping around to the different keys like you all saw. So I didn't really get a ton of reading done until I was in the airport last night, and we got there many hours before our flight took off. So I got some reading done then, but I will tell you all a little bit about that later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just excited to be home now. So this morning, it is about 10 a.m. now. We have to get 3 things for grad school done, and then I'm going to drive and pick up Scooter so that he can come home finally. I miss him so much. I can't wait to see him. But we came back last night and I was so excited because there was a package on the front doorstep and it contained Goddess of the River. This is a Red Hook book and it's coming out at the end of May. So I am just really excited about this one. First off, the cover is stunning and it is a Greek mythology retelling of Ganga, the river goddess. And I have had some really good Greek mythology retellings in my day and some really not so good ones. So I am really excited for this one. The Goodreads reviews are already so positive on it. I just cannot wait to get into this one. And I mean, like, it is a very nice book. I just get so excited when publishers send me books because book buying is a very expensive hobby. So when I get them ahead of time and then also just like the final copies of it, it's just so game changing because then I don't have to personally go out and buy it. And it's just a very, very kind and always just the most exciting thing. Like I went to bed last night because I brought the package in. It was like midnight by the time we got back. And I was like, all right, the first thing you're gonna do in the morning is get up, put your face on, and go record this TikTok because I just love book mail and I really try to show some restraint when I get books so that I can open it with other people. But my restraint was really being tested, but I made it and I am so excited to jump into this one. And I have a fun vlog idea to read all of the books that I've recently received from publishers. because I have recently received 4 books from from publishers, and I think that would just be a fun vlog to do. So let me know if you think so too. But when I'm driving to get Scooter a little bit later, I will be listening to Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead, I think is the first one. I think I got 12 pages deep into the book last week, but haven't really had time to listen to it. So I'm going to have a lot of time to listen to it today because I'll be driving and then also doing laundry. So plenty of time for some good audiobook listening sessions, but I'll update you all later tonight on the books that I've been reading because Half a Soul has been absolutely amazing. Like, I am loving it. So I can't wait to update you all on that, and then I'll also update you on Finlay Donovan. So I will check in with you all a bit later, but let's be productive on this Sunday. And I actually just ended up reading all of last night, so I wanted to go ahead and close the vlog out and tell you all my final thoughts on the 2 books that I ended up reading this week. So first and foremost, I finished reading Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and I gave this 4.5 stars. It was so magical and so good. Dora was so odd but delightful, and I just loved her character so much. She was so funny, but also so concerned about others, even though she claims to only have half a soul and clearly believes what other people have told her about the monstrosity that she is. But she just really overcomes that. Like, her true character is able to shine through and others notice it too. And I loved it so much. She was just the best. And let me not even get started on the romance in here because I love an angry, kind of mean man. Not like aggressive, but also just like misunderstood, kind of grumpy, and he only like has eyes for her and really like starts to change a bit because of her. And I just, it is so sweet. Like, I was on my Goodreads updating it with quotes of this book because I was like, I love this man right now. So the love interest was definitely fantastic, and also the overall just premise of the book was so well done and so fast paced. Like, it felt like we were always moving along in the story. I always kind of avoid Regency period books because of the language and the tendency towards like purple prose, but this one just did not have that at all. Like, everything I felt was really well done to support the story. It wasn't overly flowery, and it only like elevated the story more. So yes, absolutely loved my time with this. I would actually love to jump into the next one immediately, but I just feel like it would be very hard to meet my expectations based on this book. So I might wait for a minute to jump back into the Regency fairy tale series. But if you need a good, quick, just kind of fun book, I would definitely recommend picking this one up. It's under 300 pages and it flies by. And then the next book that I ended up finishing was When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. This was a NetGalley arc that I had received, and it's an urban fantasy novella, and it was just super interesting. I haven't read anything quite like it, and it was like Slavic inspired but set in Chicago, so it was just very interesting with the different world building elements and the characters involved too. So I don't know, overall this one actually got me pretty good. I wish that it was a full-length novel so that I could have more time in the world with the experiences and kind of their travels, and then getting to know the characters on a deeper level. I think that there is something really special in this book, and I would definitely recommend it if you're looking to dip your toes into Veronica Roth's writing. It was a great time, and I would definitely look out for it when it comes out in early May, I believe. So those are the 2 reads that I finished this week. Hopefully you all had fun traveling around with us. It was a very good time. I really enjoyed my time in the Keys, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you're able to. It was lovely in April, and I am definitely burnt a bit, but I will recover. Now it is time to start another weekly vlog, so I will see you all over there. So let me know what you all ended up reading this week, and if you've read Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, I would love to talk about it. Bye everyone.